loneliness, division, polarization. These are not new topics. We have been hearing about them and talking about them for quite a while. We have heard things like social media and how it distracts us and is a place of disconnection. We've heard about how the news does it, how some of our leaders encourage us to be disconnected. We see on social media almost every day the divisiveness and the emotion that people get caught up in. We are now seeing some of the effects of AI, which I'll get to in a minute because I think that's really big. But all that to say, we really need to talk about this. I think it is incredibly urgent that we talk about how disconnection isn't getting any better. It's getting worse. And there don't seem to be a lot of people really saying, okay, we've got to do something about this. And what can we do? I mean, yes, there might be some people talking about, hey, we got to do something, but I personally don't see um, anything significant around how we need to fix this problem. So I want to get into that today. I want to get into what's going on with it, like the state of disconnection. I want to go deeper. I want to talk about why it hurts all of us. I want to talk about some things we can do, and I want to also tell you where you can go to take some action to actually make an impact. And so, hello, everybody. I'm Matty Stevenson. I am the founder of Conscious Ground. And at Conscious Ground, we help people live better and I would say more healthy lives and make a positive impact in the world through practicing things like connection, leadership, and solidarity. So, if you think this topic is helpful, it's interesting, please expand our reach. Give us a like, give us a share, because we are trying to make positive change in the world and we're trying to help you do that as well. One small step, one small practice at a time. So let's review where we are here. I mentioned social media. We know that companies are using social media and our devices specifically to kind of hijack our brains, taking over components of our kind of, as they call it, our reptilian brain, things that we don't really have control over. Scientists are figuring out ways how they can engage those parts of our brains and distract us, to keep us outside of the world, to keep us in there. And when we're doing that, we are distracted from so much of what's going on in the world. We're disconnected. We're disconnected from ourselves in that. We're just disconnected from others in that. But I really want to dive into the idea of AI today. And don't get me wrong, I use AI every day, almost all day long. It is incredibly helpful in a lot of ways, but there are a lot of problems that we are facing through this. And one thing, of course, is what has been becoming more known lately is the brain drain. And I would also say our feeling drain, disconnected from our feelings. But in terms of our brains, I notice myself doing it. I am offloading all of not all, but quite a lot of my thinking to AI. And I am actually, now that I've become a little more aware of this, I kind of see it more. I'm like, oh, geez, I'm using this for quite a lot. And it can be really helpful. And I think there's something to that and why I and we are drawn to it. But as we're seeing, studies are coming out that are saying that when you do this, when you offload so much of your thinking, whether it's writing, whether it's just general creativity, you actually over time lose those skills. Those skills weaken. Those skills for doing those creative things atrophy. And so just imagine down the road, if we continue down this path of increasing our usage and offloading our thought and our thinking to AI. We don't know what that will be like, but early studies suggest it's not going to be good. And I would also say too, yeah, we're kind of, this also, as I said, affects our feeling as well. Because if we continue to offload, as I said, I think more and more is going to go to it. We are going to send more and more to these machines, and it is another form of disconnection. We've, of course, now also got, it's in the news a lot, AI companions. You can have an AI friend. You can have an AI relationship. There are people doing this. And I think it's an aspect of loneliness. You know, people want to have a relationship somewhere, and our skills of connecting with people and talking and forming relationships are so weakened that people are more likely to have or want to have an AI companion because it's something, it's belonging. And so just imagine again, down the road, we start offloading our relationships to AI, to machines. We are going to lose more and more of those human skills. And I think it could happen really fast. Some technologies that kind of got popular but fell to the kind of background with AI. Also, I would add to this are AR, augmented reality, and VR, virtual reality. They were big a couple of years ago. There was a lot of hype, but those things are not going away. And augmented reality, of course, is being able to have like a smart glasses and be able to overlay something over your vision. Virtual reality is you're in a full virtual world. Now, combine that with AI and all of the problems we have with connection. Now, man, this does not look good to me. And so we are literally losing ourselves if we go down this path. Asking, who am I? What do I believe in? What are these things that are core to us, our values, our beliefs? We could lose those as well. And so that is just one other component around disconnection, but I see that and I see it just regular disconnection out in the world. I was at a restaurant a few weeks ago and I watched a couple and they were doing for at least 15 minutes at a time, maybe more. They were sitting at at a restaurant and completely on their phones, didn't even look up once at each other. And if that's how you want to spend your dinner, fine. But I mean, I feel like we have to think about the impact here of this, and what this could look like. Again, it is getting a lot worse, and we really need to be careful. And I just want to circle back to it's not just about our connection to others. It's about our connection to ourselves and understanding ourselves, as I said, what we believe in, what drives us. And if we lose that as well, that is just another capability, another human capability that we lose, that we have the potential to lose or have it wither very quickly. So I feel like in this state, it's almost easier to not talk to people in the place we are right now. And again, where does this leave us? We're talking less and less. We're making less true connections. We're offloading so much of our humanness to machines. And I think this is only going to lead to more loneliness, to more disconnection, of course. And when people are alone, they seek out belonging. As humans, we look for belonging when we don't have it. It is a human desire, and I would probably say it's a human need. And so when we are lonely, we seek out belonging, we seek out community wherever we can. And I think this can lead people to finding community in places that are unhealthy and likely even toxic. And I think we're seeing a lot of that in the world today. So I set up a lot of that. Of course, yeah, I think it's pretty clear how this is hurting us. Of course, our loneliness is going to continue to rise. We're likely going to have more stress and more anxiety. But I want to get to even another point, which I think is it's so crucial here, and it is the concept of social health. Social health is kind of an up and coming topic, and it's the idea that the amount of connections that we have in our lives and the depth of the relationships we have in our lives literally equates to our overall health. It doesn't equate, excuse me, but it impacts our overall health. And it says that the more deep and strong relationships we have, and the more relationships we have, can literally help us live a better life. And that having no connections in our lives or little connections in our lives can actually be the equivalent of doing unhealthy things like smoking cigarettes or drinking. And there's a lot of data coming out to back this up. It's a fascinating topic. And to me, it is so in line with this. So imagine we have less connections. We are literally getting sicker and less healthy. We have the potential to get more diseases, to more easily get sick. And that's on top of just having less support in our lives. When, you go through something really hard, you want help. You need to be able to reach out to somebody. You need to know that you have people in your life that you trust, that you feel safe to reach out to. And so we're having less of that. And then we have the potential of getting sicker. And I would also just say the overall loss of our humanity. I said a few things before, but I'm thinking about things like thinking about new ideas, our creativity, our ability to work together with people, to have human interactions and to create new things. We're losing our ability to just talk to each other, to have and to share feelings, human things that make us great. And so it is just, I hope it's, again, very, very clear, to me at least, and to you, to what's happening here, and it's just the urgency of the state that we are in. So let's, of course, get into what can we do about this. What can we do? This is and I bet a lot of people, they're like, oh my gosh, this is so big. Like, there's so many things here. There's so many parts of this machine. Like, there's no way I can make an impact. And I want to tell you that that is absolutely not true. Every single one of you, every single person can make an impact when it comes to this and when it comes to so much more. When it comes to this topic, first thing you can do, and as with many things, is awareness. Knowing that something exists and being more clear on it, more detailed about what it is so much helpful in making change against it. By knowing change, by knowing about something, and by knowing about something deeply, we can then make change about it. We can do things about it. I would say also, this topic, in me setting it up, you might have been like, man, this is, like I said, this is a bummer. Do not let this get you down. If you get aware of this, you can get animated. You can take any energy around this, combine it with awareness, and then make change. And we all need to spread the word about it. We need to notice it, and we need to talk about it. And I'd say again, yeah, there's not a lot of great resources out there. There's not a lot of help on how to do this. There's more people out there telling us to disconnect than to connect. And I'll talk about this more in just a little moment. But again, so let's have some awareness. Be aware of the social media. Yes, you probably know it in your head. You know about it, but notice as much as you can. Notice other people like I did in the restaurant. Notice yourself when you are getting lost. See it everywhere you go. Look around for it. Take a moment and notice it. So that's the extra step. It's not about just, oh, I just see two people there, and they're just completely separated from each other, even though they're 2 feet away. Notice it, but also, in addition to seeing it, think about it. Take it in. Man, those two people are sitting right there, and they're not. They are so disconnected from each other. Oh, there it is. Wow, there is this big problem we're seeing, and I would add, try not to let it get you down, to be like, okay, there it is. There's that thing that we can work on. We can work on it. And yeah, that is just one way there. And I have been doing this a ton just to actually grow my own awareness. Um, I have been noticing my own use of AI. I think that's really important. I've been going, whoa, okay, I've used this a ton today. What can I do to take 15 minutes to not use this? What can I do to do something creative? What can I do to write something just on my own? Once I've noticed that, oh my gosh, I've been using this a lot, I see it more. When you see somebody talking AI hype all the time, maybe bring up, hey, we've got to be careful about this. We have just got to talk about how important it is that while we're using all of this stuff, to not lose ourselves in it. And you can be a voice in that in your own way, but it starts with awareness. And I would say last, on this little part here, have a take on it. Sit down. Think about how you really feel about this. I think this is a crucial human capability. Yeah, just a human thing about us that is so important to keep in touch with. With everything out there telling us how to think, telling us how to do things, taking a moment to have your own take, and it might be a take that is similar to somebody else's, or a modification of something that you got from somebody else. But think about and really get clear on, what do I think about this? How do I think about this? This is a great thing you can do here and in so many other places. Other things you can do might seem simple. Take a few minutes out of your day, sit without your phone. Sit without your phone, no devices, no music, no AirPods, no podcasts. Sit without your phone and just sit there. And I might call this kind of like a precursor to meditation, because you don't even have to think about meditating or anything like that. But just be there and be with yourself for 15 minutes. Try it. It might feel really weird, but you'd be surprised that if you do this every now and then, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, just put everything away, no devices, I think you'll be surprised with what comes through. You could focus on your body. You could just sit there and see what comes. And I guarantee you, it might be hard. It might be like really weird at first, but if you get into a practice of this, it can really help. And then you can extend it over time. And for me, doing this, I actually get a lot of ideas and inspiration and a lot of understanding through just sitting by myself for a few minutes at a time. And I actually think it actually really helps me feel better. Another one, I just giving you some quick fire tips here, just for this video, and we've got a lot more, but yeah, just to set you up. Again, might be a weird one, might be simple. Make a practice of making eye contact with people. I have been doing this a lot more lately since I've been thinking about this, and it does feel weird to me as well. But I think it's just another area of disconnection. I think a lot of us go through the day, we have our heads down, heads in devices. We kind of turn away when we're walking around, and try out looking in people's eyes for a few seconds. Again, it might feel weird. You might not ever get something back from it, but looking in someone's eyes, and not in a weird way, maybe you're in the mood, you're feeling okay, you give a very light smile. And I myself have been surprised. I usually get something back. And I've been trying to notice that when that happens. Somebody gives me a light smile back, a little nod. I'm like, ah, nice. It might be little, it might be small, it might be weird. But these are crucial small things that we can do to not forget about these things and to stay connected with ourselves. When somebody looks you back in the eye and they smile, oh man, that felt kind of good. Just a little bit of good in the day. And yes, you might not be able to do this every day. Some days you might be like, I'm not looking at a person in the eye and smiling. That's fine. But give it a shot when you can. If you're walking down the street, you're doing okay, give it a shot. I bet you it could give you a little boost. Disclaimer on the eye looking thing. Obviously, we don't want to look in everybody's eyes. We might want to be aware of whose eyes we are looking into. Let's just keep that in mind and not be, not looking everybody in the eye. I think folks can use their own judgment on this one, but I just a slight disclaimer there to not do this in a way that feels good and authentic to you, and yeah, just see what comes back. I would next say on this one, just do a few minutes of reflection around connection or disconnection. Take a moment in your day and see if you can call back if you had a real moment with somebody. It could be the person you smiled at. To me, that is a good real moment of connection. But look back. Did you have a moment with someone where you're like, oh, wow, I was really dialed in with them. I felt really close to them. Yeah. And if you did, great. And also feel that, dwell on it for just a moment. Damn, that was good. Or maybe you had a moment of disconnection. Feel into that as well. But it's all a practice of working some of these muscles. We are a new channel here, so we've only got a couple subscribers. But if you're seeing this video, share something in the comments. Talk about a moment today or recently when you felt connection with somebody. Talking about connection is part of the puzzle. It's part of how we take little steps to get better at this. And then finally, in this just brief intro of tips, think about social health. I gave you a brief intro of what it was, but think about this. Think about the number of people in your life. Think about who you have a really deep connection with. Think about, okay, who of the people do I know might I be able to connect with more often or more deeply? How could you do that? There's really a lot in this topic, especially in the age that we live in. There's so much disconnection, and that also, I would say, gives us so much opportunity in this. There's a lot of places we could go deeper on this. So just think about the people in your life. Can you connect with them more? Can you connect with them more deeply? Are there more people that you could try to have a better relationship? And maybe you don't, and that's okay. But start thinking about the amount and the depth of connections in your life as it relates to your overall health. Because again, the data is showing the more people you have in your life and the deeper the connections you have with them literally can make you more healthy. So there we have it. As we close, I I want you to know that you can have an impact on the world. I think a lot of people are paralyzed right now. A lot of people are saying, man, there's too many problems. It's so hard out there. What can I do? You can do little things like this. Little things like this, just by learning about things and becoming more aware of them, can is change to me. If you take some of this in the world, you talk about it with somebody. If you do a little mini connection, you are making change. You are helping people. If you help one person learn a little bit more about disconnection or connection, they might share it with somebody else. We are also just building the muscles of connection. And I guarantee that you will feel it if you practice this, if you grow your awareness, and it will drive you to do more. And so these little acts can make a big change. I know it might not seem big, but if you affect one person, they can improve another person's life. They can share this with two other people, and then it spreads from there. This is how we do it. This is how we make the change. And here at Conscious Ground, we will be here to help you along the way. This is what we do. We not only talk about these problems and subjects, but we provide ways that you can practice connection, that you can be a better leader, where you can be a person who helps people work together towards the things that are important to you and to them. So, as we fully close, if you want to learn more, we are just in our launch stage here at Conscious Ground. So, we are about to officially launch our brand. You can follow along, take a look at the link in the description. This is where you can go deeper. This is where you can learn about what we're about, what we do, how we do it. We also, as we go through our launch in the next couple of months, we have a lot of giveaways around this work, around how you can be a better leader, around how you can be more connected with people. And it's going to be really exciting. I am super pumped. I think this work is super important. And all of this is around helping you and others be be a better leader, be more healthy in the world, be a more connected person, and be a person that can help people work together and just make positive change in the world. So, if you liked this, if you liked this topic, give us a share, give us a like, share this with someone who you think it might help. Help us amplify this work because I think and we think it is so needed right now. So if you got to this point, thank you so much for being here. We got a lot more to come. We'll see you next time and go out there and try to connect with somebody. All right. We'll see you again next time.